Yazmin Dababneh is one of the performance artists at the ETA, the first ever Emerging Technologies and Art Festival in downtown Jackson this Saturday. And you are bringing in a very unique installation, and it has to do with light. How do you describe what it is that you're going to be doing Saturday?
I would say it is an immersive experience, and it has to do with completely light and color. So I'm taking these iridescent films and I'm covering all of the lighting that is already here to kind of create this saturated, ephemeral environment that people can kind of be washed over with color.
So it's actually going to emerge once it gets dark.
Correct, yeah. So it won't look like anything until the lights come on and the sun goes down. Then it's going to be kind of a colorful city.
And the ETA people, they found you from your Yaya Land installations that you did in Detroit.
Correct. Yeah, the first version of this I did at the College for Creative Studies in Detroit, and that one is still up. It was supposed to be a temporary installation, but I never took it down, so now it's permanent.
And that's your stomping ground. You actually were a student at College for Creative Studies, right?
Yep, correct. I was in the crafts department. I got a degree in glass blowing, so I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I noticed that. You're into steel, you're into glass, you're into light. It seems like I think the art that you're involved in came late to you. You were a scientist before.
I was actually studying pre-med. I wanted to be a trauma surgeon, and now I'm a glass blower, so I don't know how that switch happened, but I would say when I went to the College for Creative Studies, I was in the fine arts department doing a lot of painting and drawing, and eventually I found glass that way, and now I do a lot of sculptural work and immersive and interactive experiences, so I'm very happy with what I do now.
Well, with this being emerging technologies, it's not like there's a long history of artists like you to draw from. So what's your inspiration?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I would say conceptually, my science background kind of comes into play, and I'm really interested in the unseen energy that's connecting everybody and everything in the universe. And for me, I'm trying to find ways to physically manifest this, unseen energy that exists. So I feel like light, especially with this type of installation, the colorful light is something that can't be touched but can be seen and felt, and it affects you on a, vibrational cellular level. So that's kind of what inspires me, is how to manifest something that's unseen in the physical world.
And since it's unseen, it's temporary when it is seen. So once this festival is over, your art is gone.
It's gone, unless they let me keep it up. But I think this is going to be an annual thing, so hopefully we'll be able to expand it out, and maybe one day we'll cover all of Jackson's city lights with this colorful film.
So Yaya Land was a big success. It was actually repeated. You had Yaya Land 2, and it really is. It seems like it put you on the map, and you became pretty well celebrated in Detroit for these installations.
Yes. I actually am working on 2 more permanent installations for Yaya Land Takeover. One of them is going to be at Chandler Park. That one will probably start up in the spring, and then I have another one that's a smaller version for a private building owner, and that one's going to be up hopefully before the winter, because I don't want to install this in the snow.
Besides the light and the glass blowing, you also work in steel, and it looks like some of the portfolio I saw, you've got glass and steel that you've connected.
Correct. Yeah. I do a lot of mixed media, and I would say probably my favorite materials to work with are glass and steel and light, but glass and steel.
So do you use glass, steel, and light? Are there all three?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I usually try to find ways to combine the two with glass and steel, and then, when it's sitting there for a while, I'm like, well, what does it look like when light interacts with it? So I start to mess around with it that way. I usually don't have a lot of things planned out. I kind of just make and then see how light or video projection interacts with the physical sculptures.
And a lot of the art that we're going to see on Saturday, including a lot of what you're doing, it's not flat art. It's not 2D. It's not even 3D. It's kind of 4D.
Yeah, 4D maybe. That's what we can call it. I never really know how to describe it, but I have used the term 4D, which I don't know if that's accurate. But yeah, I would say 4D.
So of all the different areas that you've been working in, all the materials, is there a favorite that you have?
I think glass. I'm really, really addicted to glass just because, when it's in the molten state, it's very unpredictable. It takes a long time to get the skill set to manipulate it, and, it's just ever changing. The duality between it being fragile when it's, cold, and then melted when it's hot, and then sometimes it explodes. It's unpredictable. So I think glass is probably my favorite.
I think a challenge for all artists is being able to make money and have a career doing this. I'm guessing trauma surgeon, that's pretty much a sure thing when it comes to income.
Yeah.
With this kind of art where it's new and it's sometimes difficult to communicate, is that a challenge, is to become sustained on your art?
I would say, yeah, it is. It's been sometimes a rough road, but also very rewarding when you get that big opportunity or the big commissions. For me, I never really wanted to get stuck in the loop of becoming a production artist and kind of making the same thing over and over and again. So I really focused on, contacting people where I could do more public installations, which I feel like is more exciting for me. And I guess, that's also still very inconsistent. So my bread and butter is I teach glass blowing classes. So that's kind of my steady job, which I enjoy doing. So it's still in the art field.
And it seems like the art that you do have, like the installations, have attracted attention. Like I see Bedrock and Rocket Mortgage, they've commissioned you to do installations. So I guess by performing big, it becomes a bigger springboard.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, for the Detroit Month of Design back in 2021, which is also when I did the first light installation, Bedrock contacted me and wanted me to do a solo exhibition, which was really awesome because it's hard for me to get the type of work that I really enjoy doing into museum and galleries because all of the lights need to be turned off, and that's a liability issue, I guess. So they let me have complete creative freedom. I was able to turn off all the lights, block out the windows with curtains, and do a totally immersive experience where I had my physical sculptures activated by video projection. So that was a really special opportunity that hopefully I'll be able to do again someday soon.
So people attending the ETA this Saturday, it's been difficult to communicate what this is because there's so many different things and it's new. So what do you think, for you to be satisfied with the reaction of the festival goers, what are you looking for from them?
I would say, if you don't know what this is, that's good. Come in with an open mind, and if you've ever been to D-Electricity in Detroit, I would say it's a mini version of that. A lot of projection work, a lot of, VR and AR, and a lot of immersive experiences that kind of, I feel like it will be the best opportunity to come visit when it's dark outside, because that's when, all the light and for everybody's work kind of comes alive. I do know that we're doing some stuff during the day, especially with the music, but I would say for sure stay till later when the sun goes down.
And the lights, the installations that you've done, they've been on just buildings that are just flat and plain. You've also got some really cool geometric architectural elements. Having Bright Walls murals be your canvas Is that a plus or a minus?
Oh, it's a huge plus. I mean, these artists that have done the murals are incredible and very well known. So it's kind of nice to be able to have this collaboration opportunity that was unprompted for sure. So I'm excited to see their reaction too, to seeing their murals kind of viewed in a different perspective with the colorful lights.
Right. So these murals, they'll take on a completely different look.
Oh yes, definitely. Take on a whole new life form.
And the special material that you use is not just light. You've got some sort of filter that you're using on the lights. Correct.
The film that I'm using, this project is actually sponsored by 3M. So they donated the material to me, and it's dichroic film, which when you shine light through it, it transmits a kind of iridescent color. So depending on the angle you're looking at, it's a different color, and then you kind of shift your view. So since these lights will be fixed at a certain point, it's just kind of 3 different shades of color, but there's 2 different type of dichroic films, so there'll be 6 colors, and I kind of play with, which one's hitting what. So it'll be very, very dynamic.
Like a prism.
Yes, like a prism.
Well, I'm very anxious to see your installations, and everyone will be able to see those coming Saturday, starting at 3 p.m., but stick around until the sun goes down, because that's when you'll really see the work of Yazmin.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming to Jackson.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.